Okay, I guess we're live. That was interesting.
See what happens when we play with new toys?
We got an update on Restream and we installed it, and it did not look like the countdown faded out and went to us. I had to do it.
Didn't look like it was just sort of like sitting there staring at us, and we're like,
I had to move it. Hi, Lisa. Hola. ¿Cómo está? Mark got some sun yesterday. Oh. I got some sun. I got sun. Can't tell. Right there. Right there. Right there.
I always get sun.
He always gets sun. He does.
I get brown thinking about the sun.
Boy, Jared was really tan too. Captain Jared on our boat tour was super tan. Super tan. Hola, Anna.
Well, when you live on a boat basically every day, yeah, you're going to get dark.
For real. For real. Gosh, guys, we had a really nice tour yesterday. Had a boat all to ourselves. The boat cost the same, I guess, for up to 10 people, but we just wanted to be by ourselves. So we paid for the boat and did a tour of 7 of the bays around Huatulco. And a couple of them were accessible only by boat.
3 or 4 out of the 7.
And I don't know, one of them reminded me so much. If you've guys seen the movie Old by M. Night Shyamalan, it reminded me of the beach that these people are like getting old on. So, hey, hola, Suzanne and Stephanie and Cindy. Hello, hello. Hello.
Hola.
Hola. So, I guess I'll give it a minute and then we'll just sort of jump into it. What else? Yesterday on the tour, we did some snorkeling. I got to test the underwater case for our 360 camera.
Sí, es un perro.
That's our doggy Bandit.
He goes with us everywhere.
Every place we go. Yep. Thanks for noticing, Chris. Got some fun drone footage on one of the beaches. Tried to launch the drone off the boat. Not a good idea. No. Not a good idea because the drone is guided by GPS. And guess what? The boat is always moving on the water. So,
and what we tried to launch it from was also at a slight incline just because of the design of the boat.
Right.
And so when it started takeoff, it just sort of slid right back down.
It slid backwards toward me, and I got a couple cuts here and here from the drone blades. Believe it or not, it's like getting hit with a weed whacker. So we won't do that again.
No.
Oh, goodness.
Unfortunately, we didn't catch the young lady on the beach.
Oh, yeah, there was a topless swimmer on one of the lonesome beaches that had nobody on it. And she quickly got up and left.
After she talked to Jared for a little bit.
Did she talk to him?
Yeah.
I don't know where she went to. I mean, it's accessible by boat only. And she just got up, grabbed her shirt, and she took her shirt and walked off into the jungle. Yeah. All right. So, hey.
5 more months. It'll be here quickly.
5 more months. That is really awesome, Lisa. Congratulations. Oh, well, okay. So, do you want to say anything?
Well, I mean, basically, this is what, the 10th month now that you haven't been able to find a contract. So,
I should probably explain why that is. Mostly, it seems like the contract opportunities have just about dried up for what I do. There are a few, and when there are a few, there are several companies with multiple candidates vying for those few. The problem is that there is a competitor software company that really is commanding the market. And a lot of the contracts that come up for the software that I use, honestly, are for people to babysit that software while they convert to the other company's software. And I've used That's not enough to stream. Okay, I think we're back. All right. Hi, Wilfredo. Yeah, so I'm sorry, we've got intermittent internet speeds tonight.
When we have it, it's great.
Yeah, when we have it, it's great. But right now, the speeds aren't good right now. It's saying that we have 10 coming down and less than 1 going up. So
crossing fingers, hoping that everything.
There's times it's 50 down, 50 up, and for whatever reason, it does this where it just drops out. Now all of a sudden we have 50 up. Okay. All right. So anyway, I could try to get, if I had certification in the other company, the competitor company, I have tons of contract opportunities all over the place. But the disheartening truth is that they only want people who are certified. And the only way to get certified is to go to their school. And the only way to go to their school is you pay $5,000 to $10,000. And usually they only open it up to clients.
Yeah, normally you have to work for somebody and then they send you, and it's.
Yeah, so I haven't been able to find a contract with the company that I'm specialized in, and it's been 10 months. And as you know, I haven't, not working for 10 months, money's going to start running out, Fortunately, I sold some shares of stock that I didn't really want anyway. It was just an employee benefit from a previous job. Hi, Lena. And we did get reimbursed for my broken arm, finally.
And we say finally, we can't throw all the blame onto Safety Wing, because they sent an email requesting more information and it went to the spam folder, and we never saw it. So that was one of those where, okay, it sat in limbo for weeks because they were going, we need more info, because we paid a different amount than what the receipts came up to, because it was 2:30 in the morning and all we wanted to do is get out of the hospital. I mean, that's.
Yeah, we overpaid like about $200, something like that.
Whatever. But on the good side, because it took so long and the dollar and the peso went this way, we actually came out. We almost got the deductible back because of the difference in the peso. So,
yeah, because of the higher exchange rate, we ended up with like an extra $200.
So that covered the difference or the whatever.
I will say, once I provided them an answer for the question they had,
they were right on top.
It took them 2 weeks to reimburse me. So we got that. So we're good for a while. Hey, Tom. I'm going to use carrier pigeon.
Let me go off.
No, wait. Oh, this is good. It's so true. Guys, the internet has been so shady. Oh, my gosh, for 3 locations now. And it's like it's deceiving because it's really good, and then it's not really good. So, yeah. Hola, Claudia. Okay, so because of the employment situation, I've been kicking around ideas of what can I do next. And I thought about maybe teaching English. You got to get into that. And honestly, a lot of times they want you certified for things to do that too. So that means more money out of the pocket. And I don't know. I thought about maybe just taking lesser jobs, and maybe even some that require me to actually travel on site occasionally, which I didn't want to do. You just sort of have to do what you got to do.
Yep.
So,
yes, that is a true statement.
This is a better start. Thank you. No, Claudia, I did not. And it just seems like it's just going on forever and ever.
But,
so met up with one of our subscribers, now friend,
Yep.
Winston. And Winston,
And the whole family came down.
oh, that's true.
I mean,
and Winston happens to be a certified life coach, which we both used to kind of laugh. Like, nobody wants us to be life coaches. Should I be a life coach? No, they would hate us because we would tell them to pull up their big boy or big girl pants and move on in life. That's what I would do.
go talk to the person in the mirror and have a
I know.
serious
I'm not a
heart-to-heart.
very good.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not super empathetic if somebody just can't figure out life. I don't know. I can't help you. But he was good.
yes.
And I didn't know that he was a life coach. But
No.
he knows how to ask the questions the right way to motivate someone. And when he found out that I was an artist and he saw my art, he's like, "Why aren't you doing this?" Well, I'm not doing it because I tried to do it before. I had a business. I had a local business license, a state business license. I paid sales use tax. I advertised, had a website.
And you were doing well.
I was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was forced at work to go back to school, and it ate up all my time.
It did it that.
I was working full time and I was classing full time in the evenings. And I didn't have time to do my art anymore.
Or energy.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I would fall asleep reading my books. So, there was a time where I was actually getting more popular.
Mm-hmm.
I was being exhibited internationally. I have appeared in book. There's a book on Amazon you can buy right now that has my art as part of the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more like the inner cover.
Whatever. You're on the jacket.
I'm on the jacket, man. I've been in calendars. I've been on
what she's trying to say is she's good. You know, she doesn't want to say that, but I'll say it. She's good.
I was getting good.
No, folks, she's good.
So Winston's like, "Well, why aren't you doing that?"
And the weird part about that.
Oh, Dr. Christo.
Well, no, but before we even came down, we had the conversation. And we had sort of toyed with the idea of doing a series of all the different cities that, one scene from each city, something unique or whatever from each one of the cities that we have visited. And so, we sort of toyed with that. And then literally we had been hauling around all the art supplies
for 2 years.
For almost 2 years and never touching them. And so it was like, okay,
Why are you hauling this stuff around? Why aren't you doing your art? That's pretty much what was slapping me in the face. And then on top of that, the medical director of a office, a physician practice where I had worked in their lab for 4 years, he had done something, posted something that he, something type of thing that he did with his
some
house.
home improvement.
Yeah. And I commented on it. I'm like, "Oh, wow, did you have to buy stain to do that?" And he comes back out of the blue. Mind you, I don't have daily contact with this guy anymore. I haven't worked at his office for 10 years? 12 years?
12 years.
Right? And I haven't done any art for a minimum of 6 years. And he comes out all of a sudden, he goes, "Yeah, but I'm not the artist you are. You're amazing." And I'm like, okay, now I got Dr. Christopherson saying something about my art out of the blue after how many years? And I've got Winston saying, "Why aren't you doing this?" And I've got all these art supplies, and I don't have a job.
And then we were at the sanctuary, which is anybody coming to Huatulco, that's the bar to go to. And Omar is a mescalero.
Mescalero. I think that's the word.
I think that is the word. His family owns a distillery, and they do 4 different brands of mezcal. And of course, he wanted us to make sure that we tried all 4 different brands. And
I tried all the mezcal.
She got loopy.
I got a little loopy.
Little.
It was good.
but and he's a musician, and during the conversation over the night and everything else, this came up, and then there's another young man who showed up with his brother, and he's an local artist that does things. And so then all of a sudden he's looking at it, and suddenly he's looking at her like, why are you not making money doing this? And it's just like,
because
okay, suddenly everybody's hitting us in the same.
Yeah, there was a lot of signs coming from a lot of people about art and why am I not doing my art. And one of the biggest reasons I wasn't doing my art is because I never considered it enough to live off of.
That's why they call them starving artists.
And I was basically told I undervalue what I do. And
that was me going,
if it takes me 30 hours to do a portrait, because I do this with colored pencil, guys. I'm not doing like oil paints. No, this takes one tiny stroke at a time. If it takes me 30 hours to do a portrait and my supplies alone cost me $500, what am I worth? I kind of figured if I could do 1 or 2 portraits a month, we could live comfortably on that in Mexico. We could. But when I was in the United States, I got hit with somebody who was a repeat customer who came to me 4 or 5 years after the first one had been done. And he was totally dismayed with how much my price had gone up. And it's like, well, I'm better now. And I'm an international award-winning artist, and I've been published several places. And so I've taken courses to improve, and my supplies have improved in quality. So yes, it does cost more. And it kind of just made me realize that not everybody wants to pay what it's really worth. And that's true for all artists.
No lie, Keith.
All artists.
He did. I mean, she's got it set up so you guys can see some of the work. I'm going to
show you some of my work. Let me just hit some of these comments real quick. So I have to stop undervaluing myself. See, you could start an art school in a gallery. Thank you, Tom. I used to teach at an art gallery. I did a color pencil introduction to color pencil
she had
course.
Color pencil, and I taught photography and basically we were donating our time because we wanted to help other people.
We did it for free practically. Yeah, I guess. Goldfish, yes, I do portraits.
Yes.
I do portraits. That's what I started out at. That's what I'm best at. I wanted to get into more urban scenes if I could. I did a drawing, which I'll show you guys. I took a picture on a New York subway car one day, and it was my biggest challenge ever. And that's the one that got me the international recognition. So, and hi, Keith. Thank you. Hola, Denise. How you doing, Denise? What color pencils do you recommend for beginners that want good quality? Well, it's kind of hit or miss these days because Barrel sold their brand. But Prismacolor is what I started out with in 1978, maybe 1979. And I love them because they're creamy smooth like crayons, but with a lot of pigment. And you can use a lot of things to blend with them. You can use solvents. You can use heat. They're great. But Barrel sold the company. The quality it's hit or miss what I hear these days. So other brands that I use that I love a lot, but these ones cost a lot. Karen Luminas. They're like $400 or $500 a set.
That ain't beginner set. I mean,
that's not a beginner set.
Prisma is probably
Prismacolor is probably the best. Not Prismacolor student grade. No, Prismacolor professional. I don't think you can go wrong with them. I'm using Prismacolors right now, in fact. So
show them the work.
All right. Okay. So first, I'm going to show you a couple ink drawings just to show my general skill, and I hope this works right because I tried to set this up. We tried
this, and
this is a new feature. I'm trying it out. Please show it. Boom.
Hey.
It's an ink drawing I did of Stevie Nicks. And then you guys might not know this one. This is actually Phil Collins' son. That's Simon Collins. I started out, of course, in pencils. So that doctor's office where I used to work, this was the manager of the office. She wanted something unique for her children. She had 3 granddaughters that were all born about 2 years apart. So I took all of their infant photos and put them all together at the same age. And that was one of the things I did. My biggest goal was celebrities. So I did Ann and Nancy Wilson, and I got invited backstage at a meet and greet, and they autographed this for me. Oh, and that's one of the labs I used to work in.
Yeah.
This one got a lot of attention when it came out. That's a pretty big portrait. It's all the guys in Genesis during their Turn It On Again tour, and I got every one of them to autograph it. This one gets a lot of attention. It's just graphite pencil. Just a baby. I think I just called it baby.
Yeah, you did.
All right, so then I also do pets, and one of my early color pencil ones were a couple of cats. I did this one, and I also did this one, but I did get a commission from a friend in Canada, and this was the last cat that I did. That friend has since passed away. He had a horrible bout with cancer that lasted almost a year.
And you guys can see the difference from when
when I started.
When she was young, and now all of a sudden you're going, that is pretty close to being a photo. I mean, it's pretty photorealistic.
That doctor who gave me the compliment about how he thought I was an amazing artist, I worked on this one during my lunch breaks at the office.
My favorite.
And I see things that are wrong with it, as I would. I'm my biggest critic, but it was a really good exercise in learning how to do out of focus backgrounds. So I was happy with that. This was one of my commissions. That is a volunteer at the hospital. It's her granddaughter, Shelby. And then this, a few years later, is her little sister. I got a little bit better.
Well,
this is one I did for a juried art competition. I called it Worldview, and it was my attempt to learn how to do skin tones for African American and Asian people. So it's just kind of learning. This is Mark's daughter.
Yep.
That was her wedding gift for her and her husband.
Denise, I agree. That we named that one Autumn, and because it could be either for the
Right.
leaves falling down,
Right.
or she could have been named Autumn. But yeah, that's always been one of my
And this one,
this
I'm making this the biggest so you could see this. This is my international claim to fame. This is the one that ended up in print in a book, calendar. It was on exhibition in Quebec. It was in several prestigious pencil competitions and realism competitions. Mark came up with the title because it looked like people were just like getting a lot of downtime. Nobody's really looking at each other. So we called it On a Downtime Train.
take off on Rod Stewart.
Yep. And that is art. How do I stop showing it? Back up to that.
Maybe.
There it comes. It comes. Yes. So thank you, Goldfish. Yes, the color pencils. I really, really, really highly recommend Prismacolor pencils, but I have heard criticism lately that the consistency has not been there. I've been buying them, like I said, since 78, 79. Well, I was a kid. I didn't buy them, but I've been using them since then.
I think the other thing that you have to consider is the quality of the paper that you use, because
That's
a
true too.
lot of people
That's
just
true.
go, oh, let me get good quality pencils. But then if you're going to use crap paper, you're still going to get crap results.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
I typically will use a vellum surface Bristol paper, but you can also get really nice, smooth textured watercolor paper that's also very, very good.
You want your.
No,
Okay.
thank you. Canson Mi Tientes paper is also good, but Mi Tientes paper has a waffled texture on one side and a little bit of a smoother texture on the other, and it does make it a little more difficult to get a real smooth transition.
Okay.
So
now,
yeah.
Since we decided to do this, or
Well,
hold
what?
on.
Wait, I'm doing comments. Let me do comments. Thank you, Casey. I've been doing people the longest. So that's what I'm most comfortable with. I started drawing portraits of people when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And they weren't what? Sometimes they weren't great, but it's just practice, just a lot of practice. You get better with them.
Folks, her idea of not great and ours are two different things.
Well,
when she did the Genesis drawing, okay, she's blowing through it. Phil Collins right in the center, top, boom, done.
Daryl was first.
Or Daryl was first. But
Yep.
I mean, I'm just saying. But she was blowing through these. Mike Rutherford, no problem. Because he has a very unique face anyway. And poor Tony Banks.
Oh, Tony Banks. Thomas Jefferson?
First he was Thomas Jefferson. And she actually was like, this isn't right. And I looked at it and I went,
No,
it's Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson.
And she was like, oh my God, it is Thomas Jefferson. And so he got totally erased. And of course, there's some people would say that. But anyway, we won't go into the history of Genesis. But, you know, he was more problematic than
he was
other.
tough.
Yeah, he
was tough.
Out of the 5, he was the one that you struggled with the most.
Yeah, I ended up having to draw.
But,
I had to draw him upside down to get it right.
She does these and then she looks at me and goes, "This look right?" Yeah, I mean, you're asking
anyway,
a lay person's opinion.
Thank you very much, Goldfish. And high school art was a big deal for me. I actually couldn't get into a section in school 10th grade year, and she asked me to submit a portfolio, which I'd never done before, and she let me into the next grade up. And she's a good art teacher, and she was very supportive and gave me some great ideas and some interesting technique information. But yeah, I never went to college or anything for art. I've just always done it. So thank you. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Oh, and this is the one, Denise. Yeah, the out of focus background. It was, like I said, I wanted to try doing it. I think those look the nicest because it keeps your eyes focused on the subject. But yeah. Stephanie, thank you. Mood and expression. I try. I try. Oh, let's see. Andrew, worldview is pretty. Amazing to see your progression. Thank you.
And the fact that she put the globes in the eyes, just a hint of.
Yeah, did you guys notice that?
Let
me bring that back up for a minute because that's a tricky one that you really have to look to notice.
The globes are in the eyes.
I put Africa in his eye and I put Asia in her eye. So I thought that was kind of cool. The interesting thing is I had that juried into a competition with another piece, and the juror knew that it was me on both of them. He knew.
Well, it's not difficult. If you know your art, you can quickly pick the artist out of the art.
I guess. The floor on the train picture.
Everything in that.
Thank you. I struggled with that one. Believe it or not, I actually started that one twice. First time around, I was like, I was doing the people first, and it overwhelmed me because there's so much going on. There's perspective and vanishing point, and there's all this busyness and there's reflections, and I started with the people first, which was probably not a good idea, and I got overwhelmed and I scrapped it. I literally threw it away. And then I started over, and I thought to myself, the best way to handle this, start in one corner and work my way down to the other corner. And I drew shapes. I worked on shapes. I didn't care if it was a person. It didn't matter what it was. It was a shape, and I worked on one shape at a time. The subway one, I think that subway card probably took me about 40 hours.
Yeah, because I'm thinking you worked on that for about a month.
I worked on it in the evenings.
In the evenings. And so, yeah, I think it took about a month for you to put that together.
Yeah, it's about 40 hours. I think so. Thank you, Lena. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, the paper. Jesus, that's so smart. Yeah, the paper's important. And what happens is if the paper's too smooth, your pencils get all waxy on it. And if it's too rough, they're not very smooth on it. It depends on what kind of texture you want.
Okay. Now let me throw another one in, Goldfish, that you hadn't thought about. You also have to pay attention to the surface that you're using to draw on. You want it to be extremely smooth. You don't want to have any texture on the
drawing table.
Because during the course of the work, that will show up through if there is a texture. So, I mean, folks, I got an education over all these years that now I can sit there and go, see, I can point out all these different things and I had no clue.
Hey,
I knew I was marrying a beautiful woman. I didn't realize it came with, oh, that's right, the art and all the other. And that was just like, oh, there's gravy. Oh, and then wake up in the morning and I play guitar, and then she's down there on her 12-string playing Over the Hills and Far Away. And I'm not talking about just dabbling at it. I'm talking about playing it. And it's just like, huh? What? So
I'm artistic.
Folks,
what can I say?
I hit a home run. So.
Oh my gosh. Hey, thank you, Christy. Thank you. Baby's one of my favorite ones, mostly because of the detail.
Yeah, the eyes are what
the detail.
The detail on the eyes what makes Baby so special. The one that you didn't show.
Oh, which was what? Oh, thank you, Vicky.
The artiste in her gets unique sometimes. And the one she did of Peter Gabriel.
Oh, you know why? Because I don't actually have.
I understand,
a photo of it.
But she did a drawing of Peter Gabriel that, of course, he signed. You know,
of course.
And
I got to get everybody in Genesis to sign my stuff. I didn't show the Steve Hackett one either.
But it actually has him because Peter's a unique individual that's very quirky and different.
He's different.
And so she drew it as his portrait as a jigsaw puzzle. Yeah. And he's actually taking his hand and removing.
Well, he's holding
the piece that has his eye in it in his hand. And it's just like.
It's cool. It just looks like a big piece of puzzle piece, and he's holding the piece for his eye. And I took it to a handler. I did one of those sound check VIP experiences for his back to front tour, and the handler took it backstage and got him to sign it, which was really cool. So, yay!
So, having seen all that, then it was like, okay, now what are we gonna do here in Mexico?
Oh, you know what, Goldfish? It's so true. It's so true. You know,
most of them don't get rich until they're dead.
Here's an example of something.
Then the collectors get rich.
I purchased a pattern to make a baby Yoda, Grogu, before it got taken down because Disney was all over the place on this lady's Etsy shop because, oh my gosh, she had a baby Yoda that she crocheted. But I ordered the pattern and I made one. I ordered very expensive yarn to make the coat. I ordered eyes, all the things. I probably had $60 wrapped up in the supplies alone to make this baby Yoda. And I had somebody ask me how much I would charge to make one for their mom. Well, geez, we're already. I was honest. I said, look, it cost me $60 just to buy the stuff to make it, and that's without me charging to make it
for the time.
Right? People don't want to pay that. And I said, but I can tell you where you can find the pattern, and if she wants to buy yarn, she could make her own. People just don't want to pay it. That's the thing. So I don't know. What are you gonna do? So.
Hola, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse. Nice that you're here. And so I hope the architectural and natural beauty of Mexico inspires some fancy pants gallery pieces. Thank you, Madam X. I want to. And I went through a lot of our photos and videos over the last almost 2 years and realized that I didn't take a whole lot of photos. I took a lot of videos, because we were doing videos, but I'm being more conscious of that now and taking more photos. And then of course I found some photos that I could use, and I can come up with something.
Mm-hmm. Then you can always just sort of do the screen capture, pause.
Right. I love doing portraits, but I really would like to do some more scenes if I could. Street scenes, something.
And so where that's leading, which I've been trying to get to.
I'm so sorry. You go ahead.
I know. Is that we decided, okay, if we're going to do this, we got to start somewhere. And so, well, I say we, like I have a hell of a lot to do with this. She has to start somewhere. And so we sort of got the idea, I don't know, about the third or fourth mezcal at the sanctuary.
I had several.
Of, you know what? Omar, the owner and the bartender, has a lot of character.
Yes, he does.
And so, and then it was like, okay, hold on. Let's start with Omar.
Yeah.
So, folks, Omar
yeah.
is in progress.
He's in progress. There's Omar. I'm working on him. Boom. And this is actually small for me. I usually work on portraits double this size, but I wanted to be able to get done with it quickly. So, yeah, I needed to be able to finish it quickly, so I cut it in half.
Because what we're planning on doing is we're going to finish that, give it to Omar, and then let him hang it in his bar.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of a way of starting this whole process.
It's exactly what we're going to do, Casey. I'm just going to give it to Omar. I'm just going to give it to him.
I guarantee you, Omar will be telling everybody.
Yeah, but I don't feel like everybody who comes into Omar's bar is going to want to do a commission.
I'm not saying that.
Well,
I'm talking about when the snowbird season's here, Omar's going to be going, oh, yeah, gringos are us.
Oh, well.
The marketer in me is going, okay, hold on. People are going to go, God, that's a nice drawing of you. Yeah, that's Gringos Are Us. They have a YouTube channel. Go see them.
Well,
we think.
So I'm not a marketing person. I obviously undervalue myself. I rely on him and some business sense to handle that sort of stuff. And I guess I'm going to start doing art again. And I guess I'm going to start displaying what I've done, whatever I'm working on. Hope that something comes out of it. I used to have I do still have a website. It hasn't been updated in forever. But I used to have social media accounts and all that stuff. And I closed them down, 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, yeah, because you weren't active.
Because I wasn't doing anything with them. But I guess I'll have to start all that back up again.
The goal here is to actually do a drawing,
One.
central of San Miguel de Allende. If I had to pick something Querétaro, I would say it'd probably be the warrior with the art, with the the headdress. That would be something I would think that
See, I agree, Suzanne. I like that. Yes, a nice street scene.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know, tianguis in progress or something.
And then the other things that we've tossed around is the people of Mexico,
Absolutely.
because there is so much character
Mm-hmm.
in the faces of the people. And personally, one that I will probably lobby for, and I may eventually win, would be and we may have to recreate this whole thing, was when we were in Querétaro, the granddaughter dancing on her grandfather's shoes, and the two of them dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Was just magical. And so, and those are the things that you see down here that just go, wow, and that captures the spirit of Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, the street scenes. Hey, I personally, I think she does something with the cobblestone, San Miguel de Allende, with the cathedral and everything else. Can that sell as prints till the cows come home? And so that's sort of, if we have the time, let's
I
do
guess.
something.
But to be realistic, prints don't make a lot of money, honestly. I mean, you're paying, first of all, it would be outsourced to a company that prints them and ships them. And so they make the bulk of the money.
Gee, who was in that industry? I wouldn't know anybody that would
I'm just
know how to be able to
saying.
get a discount and get that done at a reasonable price.
Okay. I'm just saying that I was thinking more along the lines of selling the originals, but okay.
I'm thinking along the lines of I'd rather, in the words of Sam Walton from Walmart, I'd rather have 2,000 nickels than $1.
This is why I'm not in marketing. I'm just an artist.
Yeah. give me 2,000 prints at $100 a print.
And you know what, Goldfish? Yeah, everybody's got a method that they use. What your friend did is pretty much the way I had to do the subway car. It was the only way I could keep it organized and keep it straight without getting overwhelmed. And it took me a while. I remember taking it, the original photo that I took, to a color pencil workshop, my mentor, Ann Kohlberg, and I showed it to her, and she just went, oh, oh, oh. Like, she's a portrait artist, and she looked at that, and even that overwhelmed her.
It's and she's thinking about it from the standpoint of, where would I begin?
Where would I begin? And that's what happened.
And if you take,
shows a corner.
If you take the entirety of the picture, you go, crap, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And then you have to sit there and go, all right, hold on, we got to start somewhere. And Gina tried it the one time, and it just was, she was just getting overwhelmed, and it was like, this isn't working. And then she just went, and it went, okay.
And I'll do that sometimes. One of those commissions that I did was a Christmas gift, and I started it. I didn't like the way the background was coming out, scrapped it and started all over. And I worked for 36 hours straight with no sleep to make sure that it got done and was in their hands Christmas Eve morning.
When we were in, for what, 15 years, whatever, at the time we were in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Trust me, if any of our friends were getting married,
guess what they got?
They damn sure made sure we got an invitation, because they knew what was coming as a wedding gift.
Yep.
Was a portrait of the two of them,
yep.
Like the one you saw of my daughter, and they were like, oh yeah,
we're getting a portrait for her.
We're getting a portrait, and there's people in my family that have gotten those that just go.
Yeah, like Jennifer
and Ryan, that's above their mantelpiece. I mean, that's
Is it?
yes.
And then your mom got one of you and your sister.
She did one of me and my sister, which my mom had one done in when we were. Let's see, it was when we were in Mississippi, so I'd been 7th grade. So my sister would have been in the 4th grade, and we went down to the 40th Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, and they did one of those very quick charcoal color charcoal drawings of my sister and I, and my mom's had that up forever. And it was like, all right, you know what? That's all well and good. That's when we were kids. She needs something when we were adults. And so Gina just went boom, 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 boom. Took a picture of me and my sister standing in our front yard and
had a drawing done the next day.
And my mom's like, okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I enjoy doing it. And yeah, why am I not doing it? Why am I not trying to make a living from it? Well, I don't know. I guess I just didn't have enough confidence of being able to do anything with it. I still don't really have that confidence. I need to find a job. And so this is motivating me to find the confidence.
My dad, I learned my marketing from my dad. And he was living in San Francisco when the America's Cup was held in San Francisco. And so he and I came up with this idea of going, you know what? Let's see if we can do some prints that they can sell in San Francisco during the America's Cup, the sailing. And, and what the thought process was do some boats, put Alcatraz, put the Golden Gate Bridge, something was very descriptive of the event that occurred in San Francisco there. And they wanted $500,000 up front. That shot that down pretty quick.
It didn't go anywhere.
That was like, huh?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I'm going to leave it to Mr. Marketing Man to get us off the ground here and see where it's going to happen. Mark, you're like me. Step back and observe life around us.
We only got so much time.
Yeah.
And the sad part is I honestly sit here now and I go, how much time did we waste on the other side of the border where we were so encapsulated and just living by ourselves, not talking to people, not doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And we failed to recognize what was going on. And quite honestly, there wasn't as much going on in the US that was heartwarming. But you come down here,
unless of course you're riding a New York subway car.
Again, but I mean, that's just down here. You see it every day. Yeah. I mean, I sit outside on the terrace, have my cigar, and the kids playing in the pool, just having a blast. And it's just the noise. When I was living in the US would have annoyed the Jesus out of me. Now it's like music to my ears. It's just, there has been a transformation that has occurred one side of the border to the other. Dream
mode. Oh gosh. Hey Zen Maiden, you're visiting Puerto Vallarta, and you must tell us, how is it? Is it hot?
Nothing is hot like Huatuco.
I think Huatuco is hotter than Satan's armpit. That's what I've been telling people. It's hot here, man. It's hot. This is the hottest place we've ever been. Anywhere. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that we're failing to remember El Tejar because that was hot too.
It was hot.
When you can take half of an Olympic-sized swimming pool and turn it into a bathtub, I mean,
That's what that pool's like.
I
Right
know,
down
and
there.
that's not the size of what we had in El Tejar. And I mean, it just was wow.
It's
But
hot here.
It's hot.
It's hot here. Oh goodness.
And I was talking yesterday with Jared, the captain of our boat, while she was out swimming. It was a good opportunity for me to spend 30-40 minutes practicing my Spanish, because we were having in-depth conversations, and I can now honestly say my Spanish was better than his English. And so we were conversing in Spanish. And
wow.
I know. And
wow.
And so we're doing all of that, and then we're going, okay. And he asked, I explained, what the process we're going through, traveling around, trying to find where we're going to retire to and everything else. And then he goes, so, te gusta Huatuco? And it's like, sí, nos gusta todo, pero es muy caliente.
Sí.
I mean,
tengo mucho calor.
I mean, it's like Huatuco has a vibe that if it had weather that was even remotely close to the Highlands, it'd be like, park the car, we're done.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, from my standpoint,
yeah.
it's
close. It would be.
It could easily be.
It'd be high.
I mean, it would be way high on the list if it wasn't for the heat.
It's just really hot. Debbie, you are not late. It's okay. All we did was just show off some of my art. That's all. Talk about the fact that I'm probably going to be trying to do art as an income, since the IT stuff hasn't been panning out. It's been almost 10 months. So, 9 months.
Whatever.
I mean, I haven't worked since October.
It's been a while. It's been the longest break you've ever had in your life.
That is absolutely true. And I need to do something. So I think I'm going to try again at working with my art, but this time I'm going to do things that have a Mexican perspective and might interest people who want to see some of the iconic scenes that you find around Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try working on that. Right now, I'm just doing a portrait of Omar, the Mezcalero.
Which means we have to take it to Omar, which means we have to go back to the sanctuary, which could mean another.
It was really good, mezcal. And I have a receipt that says I get a free shot.
I got a feeling you give him that portrait, it's going to be more than a free shot, but that's my opinion.
That's good. It's fine. And Zen Maiden said it's hot, but a nice breeze. Okay. There we go.
The breeze part is so intermittent here.
That's just it. We don't get much breeze.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be it could totally be the direction of the building that we're in and everything else, but no.
I had a really good time on that boat yesterday, though, and at those beaches, it wasn't hot then. But thank you, Goldfish. Avenues. I guess there's avenues. I just don't see the avenues. The artist in me just sees the art, not the avenues. I'm expecting him to help with that. Mr. Avenue.
I see avenues, but I'm not allowed to turn on them because I don't have the talent to even begin to get down that avenue. So it totally is a team effort here, because, well, not a team effort. If she doesn't do it, I can't do my part whatsoever. I mean, but she could do it, and then it would sit in the portfolio. So yeah, it is 100% team effort, because I look at things and she goes, "What? Can we do that? Yeah, we can make that happen. So we have the ability of sharing our strengths and combining our strengths together and making that work. Hopefully,
a nice reciprocity.
Yes, nice reciprocity.
I'm gonna put the link to my website. Please be kind, because I have not updated this website in forever. But there it is. It's ginasdrawings.com. And so Debbie, I know you missed the artwork, but most of it is posted on that website, so you can find it there.
Yeah, and yes, Wilfredo, hotter than both of them.
It is hotter than Merida. It is hotter than Progresso, without a doubt.
We describe it as
Satan's armpit.
Well, you only take a shower, so you smell like fresh sweat instead of old sweat.
Yep.
I mean, that's
fresh sweat. I can't even stand in the bathroom and do my makeup, because before I get my makeup done, I've got beads of sweat. And that doesn't count the sweat that's rolling down my back. And I don't know, did we mention this yet about me having to go and get lanced?
I don't know if we did or not. I don't think we...
Okay. So I have never been somewhere where I have sweated so much as I do here on a regular daily basis. It's like constantly running down my back, and I need towels under my boobies, and just all it's. I know that's TMI, but the point is it's sweaty here, and I ended up getting what I thought was my first ever pilonidal cyst. I know what they are. My ex-husband used to get them. I am outside of the age group.
I had one.
I am the atypical sex to get them. I'm older than most people are who get them. I've never had one before in my life, and I thought I had one. Now, the doctor here we went to go see thought maybe it wasn't one, and he might have suggested it could. He said vascular cyst, but I think what he meant maybe was sebaceous cyst. Either way, it was back there, and it hurt, and it was hard to sleep. It was hard to sit, and it just kept getting worse. And I had to go to an outpatient surgeon here in Huatulco to get that taken care of. So what did that cost?
Now, no. Before we even get to the cost of that, hold on. She calls them.
Oh, yeah.
She calls them.
It was WhatsApp.
All right, WhatsApp, whatever. You contacted them.
WhatsApp at 11:30 in the morning.
11 o'clock, because you had a class at 11:30. You contact them at 11 o'clock, and you went, oh, I've got a class at 11:30. Oh, how does 1 or 1:30 sound?
Yeah. Okay.
What? It literally was, I don't know, 3.5 blocks away. And so, she gets done with the class. We have lunch. We walk over. We walk in. And he has a tiny little office with enough room for his desk and a couple of chairs on the other side of the desk. A typical patient room, bed for, seeing patients, and a little wire rack in the corner with all of his supplies on it.
He's wearing
a little cart that has his printer on it.
He's wearing ripped up blue jeans and a Hugo Boss golf shirt.
And it's like, oh, let's take a look. She gets up on the bed. He takes a peek. And all of a sudden, he starts squeezing, and he got the pop, and he was like, that's not a sebaceous cyst. He goes, we're going to take care of that right now. And on the wire rack, he's got a set of sterilized, surgical tools, that supplies that he needed. It was extremely sterile, but he takes off his watch, he takes off his bracelets, and takes off his ring.
He cleaned his hands. I could smell the antiseptic in the soap.
He did all that, and I'm sitting there in the same room.
He's got a little mini autoclave too.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay,
Everything got all iodine down.
Yep.
He made a lancet slit. He did whatever he had to do.
Yep.
I mean, that was it. Sent me off with prescriptions. Here's the best part. The total amount was 3,000 pesos.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to be that much, except that he had to do basically a
Well, he had to do
minor
a minor surgical
procedure. So 3,000 pesos was it. We only had 2,500. He's like, oh.
Yeah, in my wallet I had 2,500, 2,600 pesos, whatever I had.
Bring the other 500 in 2 days when you do your follow-up visit. Okay. And we went and got our prescriptions, and that was it, and everything's fine now.
I mean, folks, we can't make this up. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like 3,000 pesos done. And oh, that's right, 500 pesos for the follow-up visit.
Yeah.
And that was it. And
he came riding in for the follow-up visit on his motorcycle,
mm-hmm.
carrying his helmet in with him. He's still wearing ripped up blue jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Different shirt this
different
time.
shirt. I mean, but first of all, to call it 11 and go, oh, come in a couple hours. In the U.S., that would have taken weeks to have gotten in there for that. So it just was one of those you're going, wow, okay, do it, deal with it, and you're done. And
that was it. That's how hot it is here, though. Goldfish, you went to Death Valley. So hot you were tripping on something. Kind of like Beavis and Butthead Do America. That kind of tripping.
You mean that my grandmother was in?
Oh, that's right.
Honest to God, folks, Beavis and Butthead Do America. The little old lady that's in there.
That goes to Vegas?
Yes.
Your grandma.
Was the epitome of my dad's mom. And it was just like, every time I watched that, I'd go, oh shit, it's Grandma Marcy.
That's funny. Well, but Death Valley is a very dry heat.
Ain't nothing dry here.
And this ain't dry.
No.
This ain't dry. I mean, like you are wet all the time. Your skin is always wet. It just never dries out.
Just to give you guys an idea, we prep the house for about 3 hours before we do this. We close everything. We turn every air conditioner on in the house and go, okay, we don't want to sit here and glisten during this. So,
right.
And right now we're not. But we also sit here and go, man, we're burning some electricity. And being the type of tenants that we are, we feel badly about doing it, but
we only do it on these Wednesdays. So.
Yep.
Hey, BB, and red spiral hand. I love that red spiral hand. That's pretty awesome. Refresh my memory. What time frame will you guys be in the Cabo area? Wife and I want to come down and show you around. Oh, maybe convince you guys to stick around. That's pretty close to the end of our.
Not pretty close.
It's close to the end of our 4 years.
That will be realistically 2 years from right now.
Yeah, it'll be about 2 more years.
Because I think we're spending 3 months in La Paz, and we're sort of originally we were going to do a couple of months in San Juan Cabo de Lucas, and then we were going to go to Loreto, and then we just decided to condense it. When we decided we were going to do the 6 months in Querétaro, we had to start stealing months from someplace, and so we stole it from there, and we're going to do 3 months in La Paz and sort of go north to Loreto for a little bit of a visit, and then south down to the Cabo area. So,
yep. Okay. Hey, rainy and breezy in central Oaxaca. Well, we'll be in central Oaxaca in about 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
We got a lovely hacienda that we will be staying in for 3 months.
I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
It's got no air. It's got no heat.
I'm not worried about that part. It's just the whole walking across the garden to go to the head in the middle of the night.
It's definitely got an authentic hacienda design. All of the rooms are perimeter around a large central garden. But I'm excited to try it out. So We'll see. And whoop, I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm doing stupid things. Let's see. Whoa, he dipped off the screen, guys. Is he coming back? I'm on the bay in a condo with great views. All right. And thank yous. And I hope to do a lot more art. And I really, really, really would love to get into doing more of those scenes that I was striving to go that direction before the whole thing just all got shut down. I had so much success with that one urban scene that I did, and a lot of people expressed a desire to see me continue stuff like that.
Well,
So
I mean, I'm sitting there and I go to my dentist in Asheville, and he has nothing but inferior art drawings of small towns in the Smoky Mountains. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, Gina's better than that. And he's spending money to put this up on the wall. People will spend money for good art put on their wall. And I'm going, okay, this can be done.
I would say that's true because the home and garden show that used to come to Charlotte at the convention center, there was a woman there who is a color pencil artist who does a lot of landscape and buildings. Like people like to have a drawing of their home, things like that. And she had a huge display. Now, it's got to be an expensive endeavor to buy a space to display your wares at a home and garden show. You have to buy those spaces. You rent that space. And then, of course, she's got to have a table.
Now you're in my domain.
And
that's
the drops.
not
and
cheap.
It's not cheap to do that. To
to
set
have
up
a booth at a show
Yeah.
is, I mean, you're
so
talking.
she must have been making some money.
Yep.
I mean, because to spend that kind of money to be at the home and garden show, she had to be making some money. And I know how you feel. I've been out of work for over 6 months, just trying to make it to the finish line to retire in 14.
Crossing our fingers for you, Chris.
Yeah. I never thought I would have this much of a hard time. I'm going to brag a little bit here on this. I'm very good at my IT job.
She is.
I am very good.
Just like everything else.
It's just
she
the
does.
problem is that there's just not that many opportunities. It's like they're drying up, and I never predicted this happening. But that other company is killing this company.
Just to give you guys an idea of what led to the whole oops is that we were sitting there and we come to Mexico. She leaves healthcare assholes, crosses the border, and I'm sorry, I won't say their name, but you can figure out from 8 healthcare assholes. But once we get down here, boom, she gets a contract, and it's just like, okay, so this is not going to be difficult for this to happen. And then all of a sudden, and they kept extending her and extending her and extending her. So we're going, all right, finding a job is not going to be difficult for her. A, she's very good at what she does, and B, they value her when she gets in there.
I mean, and I worked for the mother company for 9 months.
Yes, you did. And so it was like, okay, this is not going to be an issue. And then all of a sudden it was like, suddenly, whoop, and
it just stopped. Just stopped. And then when there is an opening, like I said, it's like people like swarm to it. And multiple companies will call me, like 9 different recruiters will call me for the same job. And I have to pick one of them.
And if they don't get the contract,
then I'm not in consideration anymore because they didn't get the contract. I have got to say this. Natalia, oh my gosh, girl, I used to work with her at Matthews. Are you still at Matthews? Yes, I'm excited. I'm so excited that you're on here. This is one of my former coworkers, guys, before I went into IT.
And she saw.
Wow. Yes, and she knows. She knows because I used to work on the commissions. I had my business right before I had to go back to school, and I was doing all this at that time. It's so nice to see you on here, Natalia. Awesome. Dave, I don't know what you're saying. You can't find jobs. Confused. Say if you want, you do. Could you clarify that for me, please, Dave? um, Hola, Guadalupe. I'm sure you will do great with your art. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, did I just hear that? Did you just hear what?
I know. That's so long ago.
We're so far back behind now. I got to get going. Work on the type of pictures that touch the heart. Yeah, granddaughter dancing on grandpa's shoes. There are many scenes that are as touching. Yeah, you're right.
That's where the two of us actually communicate and go,
yeah,
okay, what should I do? Da 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 da. And the things that show Mexico, A, at its finest, and B, pull the heartstrings are the ones that sell, because people want to put up something that makes them feel good. Or something that brings back a memory.
Yeah.
You know, if it is I'll use this example again, Central, de San Miguel de Allende, because they went there, they were touched by it. Then that goes, wow, okay, yeah, those are the types of things that have the money making appeal.
I agree. Okay. Blue butterflies. I had one of those when I was 18. Have a big scar. I'm 65 now. Yeah, but did they come back? See, typically once you get them when you're young, you tend to get them often or regularly. And I never had one, and then I had one, and it was horrible. I'm just glad I was able to get treated at a very reasonable cost in a really quick turnaround time in Mexico. Incredible, right? That was the United States. I would have been waiting a week, 2 weeks to have a doctor's appointment, and then I would have been referred to somebody else to get.
And then here's the other part: you'd have waited 2 weeks, and it would have gotten worse. Yeah. Then it would have gotten infected, and then it would have gotten,
Yeah.
Now it becomes more of a delicate procedure and everything else. So it's
your visit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guadalupe. Thank you. And James Clifford, hello. How are you tonight? First time we caught you live on YouTube. San Luis Potosí is a little cooler than when you are at. Oh, we know that. Wish we met you too when you were in SLP. Always enjoy your videos.
We will be back.
We will be back.
Because San Luis Potosí is one that, A, we only spent a month there. Well, B, I need my churros. But I'm just saying, I haven't had a churro like that since, I haven't had a churro since we left San Luis Potosí.
You had one in Valladolid.
Oh, okay. But haven't had one like that since we left. But then we had the catastrophe of the computer dying while she was working and everything else. And so we were only there for a month, but it really did capture a lot of our hearts and everything else. And so we want to go back and give it.
It needs a deeper look.
It needs a deeper look.
Yeah, we need to stay there longer and give it a deeper consideration, because we really did enjoy our time there, for sure. Peppa, 3-inch scar across the back of your neck. Ouch. Ooh. Okay. I bet that hurt.
I got one there about 3 inches. That was me hitting a bunk bed when I was about 6.
Progresso had some great breezes. They sure did.
Yes, they do.
But it was pretty warm. My 85-year-old dermatologist got a sebaceous cyst out of my shoulder. You would have thought I was shot with an AR-17. Oh, boy, it was getting there, though. Oh, my gosh. It was so hard to even lay down at night. It was not good. Hi, Carol. Thank you for being here tonight.
A lot.
And yes, I agree. The medical care in Mexico has been outstanding. It's quick, it's immediate, it's cost effective, good quality care. I haven't had any bad experiences to discuss yet. I finally got reimbursed for my broken arm. So Jesse, just let y'all know I went to the drawing site and my virus blocker's throwing a fit. I don't think it's a virus, maybe a certification out of date or something like that. I'm not really sure about the certification.
I don't know. That's your realm. You, the IT expert.
Well, I know what she's saying.
I know what she's saying.
And it might be the IP, the people that I buy my IP address from. I'll look into it. Thank you, Jesse. I think you're right too. I think it's just because I don't have anything on my site other than pictures. The old lady, the old goldfish. Oh no. In Chapala, cost would have been 500 pesos.
Pesos, dollars.
Probably pesos. Maybe dollars.
I'm thinking more dollars.
I don't know.
But whatever. I mean, we weren't complaining either way.
Yeah, we weren't complaining. I mean, 3,000 pesos. What's that come out to?
3,000 pesos.
Yeah.
That's right now at almost 20. That's $150.
Yeah, I mean, and that would have been. I'm
just doing it simple, man.
Not just the visit. I mean, it's a surgeon. The guy is a surgeon, and that's how I found him because I specifically looked up someone who would treat pilonidal cysts because I thought that's what it was. And there's two of them in that particular location, and I didn't even know which one I was getting because I had two phone numbers I could use on WhatsApp, and I just picked the first one, and it ended up being the guy. But there was a lady as well. And they do all kinds of surgical procedures, and some of them are actually in a medical building, not in the office. This was an easy outpatient office thing. And he wasn't planning on doing it in the office. I think it was just to be seen.
Well, you would explain it. You thought it was a pilonidal cyst.
Right,
so in his brain, that's what he started with. Then when he took one look at it, he was like, I don't think so. And
because typically they would remove the whole cyst.
Right. And then when he started playing with it, then it was like he got the pop. He was like, no, it's not a pilonidal cyst. And
yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it was horrible. But Dave, we are in a tourist location.
We are that.
This is a tourist location, so I do expect it. It does cost a little bit more here, although not as much as Cancun and Playa del Carmen, Tulum, none of that. Let's see. Michelle. Hola, Michelle. Any thoughts to teaching online? The Gina Gringos RS family might be interested. Also, maybe offer in-person retreats to teach. A couple of thoughts. Well, that's not a bad idea. And I have taught. As I said earlier, I used to teach a colored pencil introduction course for a local art gallery where we used to live. I could do that. And I really hadn't considered doing that. But if there was an interest, yeah, I think we could do that. Why not? Why not? That's a great idea. Thank you. Vicky, I lived in Puerto Vallarta for 2 years before moving to Querétaro. Puerto Vallarta is very hot and humid now. I don't ever want to go back. Querétaro is heaven. We do like Querétaro. It is high on our list.
That is why we're doing 6 months in Querétaro. And part of it is because we really love the weather in Querétaro and we love the town and everything else. The other fact, quite honestly, is we have so many friends in Querétaro.
We do.
And that is
strange how that happened.
And that's before a lot of you on here who are in Querétaro, who we hadn't had an opportunity to meet yet.
Right.
So, I got a feeling there's going to be a big time, and it's sort of one of the things coming up, is big time meet and greet in Querétaro.
I think so, yeah. I'll like
the party.
I know. So, yes, a meet and greet. I think that's a great idea. We did try maybe to do one in Playa del Carmen area. It didn't really work out. So, but I think Querétaro would be a good place to do it. We could even do one in San Luis Potosí.
then we could do one with Ernie up in San Miguel de Allende when we're in 6 months in Querétaro, because that's only 45 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
I mean,
and all those places are.
And besides that, Ernie owes you a mezcal anyway.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Ernie owes me a mezcal.
And he owes her a mezcal, and we owe him a lot more than mezcal for getting us across the border.
He's got a house full of art. Maybe I'll
see. Of course, his disposable cash sort of got flooded out.
Okay, so you are in Santa Maria del Tule, and it is 80s most days. That's good. I've been a little concerned about what the temperature might be like when we get to Oaxaca, because we don't have air, but we do have this large open garden. So I'm thinking that as long as it's not real hot, we'll be fine. We got a fan.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. Let's see. Hola, Brett. The regular pencil is my favorite. That's kind of how I think most artists kind of start out, is just with regular pencil. I have found,
it's called boarding class, and you doodle. I mean, that's quite honestly, that's how most kids start. I mean,
and there is a pencil that I like. Instead of graphite pencil, I do like regular pencil, but graphite pencil in particular gets a sheen to it. And if the light's hitting it a certain way, you get like a negative image effect. I found another pencil. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called a Negro pencil. And it blends really well, just like graphite, but it's got a much deeper black hue to it. And it doesn't have that reflective sheen. And that has become my favorite as far as just pencil goes. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
I don't know what to say on that.
I know. Every time I see you two, I feel like moving to a nice little town in Mexico is the smartest idea. You know?
All I can say is the amazing part about living down here, and it has been true. We are in city number 12.
Yeah.
And it has been true in every locale, is that the people here are phenomenal.
Yep.
Phenomenal. You give them this much love going out, and you get this much love coming back. And it's just mind-blowing how simple life really is. And you go, the joy that was, I almost want to use the word stolen.
Oh.
On the other side of the border, in our lives, it was just ripped away because of all of the divisiveness and everything else. You come down here and it's just restored, and you're just like, oh my God, it feels phenomenal to be down here. And I am a different person this side of the border than the other side of the border.
He is.
She was becoming me the last couple of days because we had new tenants move in. And I would have been the one that would have been just losing my brain.
I wasn't losing my mind.
No, but you were headed down the road that I would have been way further down the road on, because they got a bunch of kids.
They got a bunch of kids,
and they're opening and closing the doors all the time.
No, they're not closing the doors. They're opening and they're banging the doors. There's a difference between closing a door and slamming a door. Anyway.
But I'm sitting over there going,
it's like, it's been pretty good today.
And
they're on vacation.
Whatever.
I give them a pass. They're on vacation. They're here on vacation. They'll be gone in a week and it'll be over. So no big deal. Wilfredo, you love Oaxaca. I like Oaxacan food. Oaxaqueño food.
I gotta say, the barbacoa the other night, and anybody who comes to Oaxaca,
hola, Jenny.
Los Paredos, which happens to be right across the street.
Oh, every day.
Oh my
The
God.
aroma
And
is seductive.
their tacos barbacoa, oh my God.
Everything they make. Oh my God.
And I think 3 tacos were 30 pesos for the barbacoa.
No, I think it was more than that.
No,
I thought it was like 60.
I was spending more on my beer than I was on the
Oh,
food. So
I had rib.
I know. Well, you had the rib, then you had the fish taco the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think mine was 60.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, their tacos are really, really good, and we can smell them every day. Every day. Let's see. If I start doing art again, it will be for selling prints online. Too hard to ship to the U.S. from Mexico. Absolutely. What?
No.
What?
If you want to do that, go to gringosrus.com and reach out to me, Blue Butterfly. I spent a lifetime in the photo industry. I know the people that I can put you in touch with that will produce your product, ship it, and everything else. And
Okay.
and they do it from the US. So, yeah, you got to pay them, but you just get the commission back off the other part.
Well, the other side of this that he's not thinking about, though, is the e-commerce website for placing the orders and things like that.
Well, that regardless, I'm talking about just the whole shipping, production and shipping in the U.S. You produce it and ship it from the U.S.
Sure.
And I know those people to do that.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just. I think we're back. All right, so we dropped off for a minute. I believe we're back on. It says we're live, so I don't know why that happens because the internet drops off randomly here. So, and I have to try to figure out where we were.
We were right there. I have
right
a photo.
Here. See, I have a photo I think you would love to make. Is there a way to send you a JPEG? My family traveled from Michigan to Oregon, and the pictures I got were amazing.
gringosrus.com.
Wrong. Oh, not you can't send it that way.
And send it through the email.
You can't attach it that way.
Why not?
Because it's a contact form.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll put the email here.
I will now shut up.
Who runs this stuff?
Why? What was I thinking?
Okay, I put the email in the chat, Goldfish. Thank you. Woo! I kicked my drink over. All right, where am I at now? I'm sorry, I'm trying to get caught up here. Wildlife landscapes. Ooh, that sounds like fun. All right. A friend applied for a job and was told they had over 2,000 applications. The IT world is in a weird place. Yes, Jesse, they are. And this one contract I was trying to get, I literally, and I know this is just a fraction, I had 9 different recruiting agencies contact me.
For the same position.
For the same position. And that's just the ones that contacted me. There's plenty, I'm sure, who didn't. And I had to pick one. With these recruiters, you pretty much do a right to represent contract. And if that company doesn't get the contract, then you don't get it. So it's been like that. Whenever something comes up, I'll get multiple requests of, for my interests, and I'll go with somebody. And
you hope to God you picked wisely.
You don't know. It's such a roll of the dice. But there's been so few of these particular jobs that that I'm qualified for.
And they have slowed down
Yeah,
a lot.
they've slowed down a lot. So it is what it is. I just need to do a new side hustle. That is my hustle. uh, somewhere in here, I'm missing. I'm trying to get caught up on
Well,
things.
they are fantastic.
Yes.
And,
Okay. Economy is slowing down, and volatility in financial markets.
well, and then you also have to
Yep.
factor in the fact that the driving force in the world economy is coming up on election. That always throws everything.
It sure does. It's all up in the air. It's crazy how undervalued IT workers are. I agree with that. But they're just waiting for AI to do it all.
If they can figure it out how to do it, they will.
I know. Tom says, another thought, you could do artwork right on the walls, interior or exterior. A friend of mine who is older than all of us is still in high demand to do frescoes and trompe l'oeil, even on floor. Well, Tom, I'm not really a painter. I'm definitely a pencil artist, and so I've done some watercolor. But when it comes to acrylics and oils and things of that nature, I'm not that good at that, and I'm not a spray can type artist either. And I have seen some of that artwork out on the streets here in Mexico
Oh
everywhere.
my God, San
It's
Miguel de
amazing,
Allende,
right?
that walking through that,
Yes.
you're just sitting there just going, what?
So I have. It's a wonderful
And
thought.
here in Huatuco.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thought, and I have the skill to be able to draw or design something, but I don't have the skill of that medium, and it would take some time to learn it. So it's a good thought, but it's not my wheelhouse at the moment. Hey, Mexico City has churros that sparkle with glitter. Glittery churros, honey.
Hey, I'm all for it. I mean, if they're close to as good as mine in San Luis Potosi with the zarzamora, bueno.
Hey, hola, cheeseburger with frijoles. I love it. That's such a fun name. Brett, I have a friend that has graphite portraits of Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, etc., drawn on sheets of music. It's really cool. That is cool. That is really, really neat. And I've had a desire maybe to do something like that on sheets torn out of a book, maybe. But sheet music, same idea. And that's very cool. Something unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I'm just sitting here processing.
My wife said portraits are like singing the national anthem. It's tough. Tough to do them or tough to make money from them? I don't know.
Both.
I guess it just depends. Monday, I'll say money, meh, I can't talk. Monday's market crash, and the reason behind it is telling of the looming recession. Ooh.
Es posible.
Yeah, I should have transferred when it hit that 19.65. By the time I noticed it, it did.
Well, that's two different things. He's talking about the market.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that, but that's
You don't know what that's going to do to the peso because
I know.
you also have the
I
yen.
mean-
The yen had a huge impact on
yes.
the dollar or the peso moving the way it did. So it's very global.
The peso hitting about 20 pesos for US dollar, that happened at like 4:00 in the morning. Who the heck is awake at that time? I mean, but I should have traded up
Well,
that afternoon.
that was
'cause
when
it was 19.6.
that's when the Nikkei opened, and
Yeah.
so
Oh, before I forget, I wanted to ask you guys about buying vitamins and supplements in Mexico. I don't mind buying at the Walmarts and Sam's Club. I take a plethora. Your info. Okay, so I've had a hard time finding supplements in general that succinctly identify exactly what is in the supplement. One of the things that I take on a daily basis is collagen. and I take a wide, what do you call that? Yeah, I can't think of what it is. Wide spectrum collagen. So it's got types 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I forget what else, and 10 are all in it. So it's a wide spectrum collagen. And it's really hard when I shop online in Mexico, even on Amazon Mexico, or if I go into a health section in any store here in Mexico and I find collagen, hydrolyzed collagen, it never gives me the details of what kind of collagen is in it, ever. So I find that troublesome. The other thing is vitamins. Yes, you can at times at a Walmart find a multivitamin.
I think we probably found better luck at a Horo.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And Costco. I found some
true.
at Costco. But I specifically wanted a woman over 50 type vitamin that was more focused for my age group. And that's rough. But I found them at Oro. So Oro was good.
But a Horo has been a pretty good. If I was going to say, if you wanted to buy them locally and go and get them, that would be the first place that I would recommend going locally here in Mexico. Would probably be a pharmacy, be it Guadalajara, a Horo. Similares, you're not going to probably find as many because Similares is there basically to sell generic drugs. That's what they do, and they're a great place to get inexpensive maintenance medication.
Yeah,
they are phenomenal for that.
I take a medication that's a alternative to glucosamine chondroitin for joint pain, and I can't find that anywhere in Mexico. The only place I find it is online, Amazon USA, and then of course I have to pay the import and the tariffs and all that. Or when I'm in the United States, I'll find it at Costco, and I'll buy like a year's worth of it and just bring it back with me.
We keep waiting for the next job because there's stuff waiting at my mom's.
And then I like to take a probiotic, but I have been out of my probiotic now for about a month, and I'm doing okay. So maybe I don't need it anymore. Maybe I've adjusted well to Mexican food.
Mexican life is just going.
Yeah, maybe. But it's not easy, Tom. And you can go to a GNC and you will find some of these things. And the GNCs always seem to be located close to an HEB, I notice.
Yep.
But
they are in the Central Highlands.
But the GNCs are expensive. I mean, they're expensive.
They're no better here than they are in the U.S.
So I like to use iHerb and order things online through iHerb. And I've had the best luck with them. Until I decided to use somebody other than DHL. Typically, iHerb will send me things with DHL. This time they offered that I could choose either DHL or is it Estafeta?
Estafeta.
So I thought, let's try Estafeta. Well, I never got my product. Estafeta couldn't find me because I didn't have the apartment ID on the address. They asked me to update it. I did. They had a record of me updating it. It said so right on their website, but they took no action with it. And then they decided they were going to return it to iHerb. iHerb contacted Estafeta at least 2 different times and never heard back from them and said, you know what, we're not getting any information back from them. We're just going to refund your stuff and you can place a new order. Okay. So there's that. But typically I use iHerb.
I think now we're waiting till we get to Oaxaca.
Yeah, we're going to wait because it could take 2 weeks or more.
Yeah. Part of the downside of moving all the time is that we have to sort of carefully monitor when we order things. So,
oh, look here, Stephanie's voting for SMA. I think that's for the meet and greet, right?
Yeah, and
I think we're going to do them everywhere.
I think that we will definitely be doing one in SMA just because.
Yeah,
we got to go up there in it's been a long time since we've seen Ernie and his wife, and those two Thank God for them. First of all, for her putting up with that entire episode at the border and sitting in the car for what, 90 minutes minimum?
Yeah.
Minimum, while we were dealing with the tip and getting through and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and second of all, they're great people. We love them.
Yes.
So any opportunity we get to spend time with them, that's a thumbs up in our book.
So, Alfredo, what about looking for work with some of the American companies in Mexico? Why not on the other side? Well, the problem, Alfredo, is that my background in IT is very, very specific. It's with a healthcare.
It's very siloed.
Yeah, it's a healthcare software company. And even within that healthcare software company, I am very siloed into laboratory and radiology applications. So I am so very specific, lab and radiology software through this one company. And right now that one company is being dominated in the market by another company.
They're getting slapped.
They're getting slapped down pretty bad. And so I'm just running out of options, honestly. And I need to start thinking about other things. I don't know what else I would do. I don't have a computer science background. I do not have programming skills aside from making my videos on YouTube, making a website, just basic stuff like that. I don't know. I actually saved some things today in a note to myself to look into about possibly getting a certificate in something that might improve my online remote job opportunities. But other than that, I just need to concentrate on something that might have the potential of bringing some income in. And this is something I like to do. So hopefully, and it's better than nothing. I don't have to make $1 million, right?
No.
This IT job that I had this last job for 9 months. That income that I made for 9 months paid for a year and a half or more. It paid for us the entire time I worked, and it has continued to support us since October with no work. So I made a lot of money on that contract. But I don't have to make that much money. I just need to make enough money.
No, but it'd be nice if we
to
got
live
that. That way
comfortably.
we could just
It would be nice, but the point
set
is,
it back in there and go, okay, if something happens again,
But the point is, I don't have to make that much money to be happy and be able to stay here and live here. I just need to make enough to pay rent and buy food. That's really it, right?
And cigars.
And okay.
I'm just pointing out.
Oh, I'm getting way uptight about the state of affairs. Oh gosh. Yes, I know. And I really don't like slamming doors and parents who don't discipline. It was getting on my nerves, but I kept thinking to myself, you know what? They just arrived over the weekend, and they will probably won't be here after the weekend. They're probably on vacation.
And the other thing is you have the initial excitement of boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And so, get to the pool, do this, do that. So
Tayuda. We do like our Tayudas very much.
Slice of Oaxaca.
Yes. One of the biggest reasons why I want to retire there in 2 years feels like the Mexican culture is less entitled. Humble.
Totally.
Humble.
Totally.
Yeah, very much.
It's we're in Oaxaca or Huatuco right now.
Yeah.
It is Oaxaca.
It's Oaxaca.
And right now, the people who are vacationing here in Huatuco are almost all Mexicans.
Yeah, it's mostly at this time of the year.
At this time of the year.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because they are phenomenal. They just, I've said this before and I'm going to continue to say it. The family unit is so important to them And it is so refreshing to see multi-generational gatherings where there is love that is spread throughout that entire up, down, doesn't matter. You don't have kids who are doing the oh God, give me my phone, please. I mean, it's not that way. And it's heartwarming to see the interaction. So
Indeed. La Casa de Mezcal is in Centro. Woo!
Central
Oaxaca, probably.
Okay, I didn't know if he was talking.
I definitely want to do.
I didn't want to miss here.
I want to do one of those mezcal tours too. Did you guys meet up with Cindy, the ex-Braniff stewardess? She seems to be the expert plus on Oaxaca, and she seems like a real trip. Huatuco. In Huatuco. Yes, we haven't met up with her. We were in communication with her before we arrived. I know that she had a trip with family planned, and we are coming down to about 2.5 weeks left. So I told Mark I would maybe reach out to her maybe this weekend just to touch base one more time and see if she's back, because she had traveled.
Yeah, and next week we've got 2 subscribers who are coming down on the 11th, which I think is Saturday, Sunday, something like that. And then we're doing 2 days in Zipolite. So,
I think we're about to go down again.
No, that's when we froze last time.
No.
Oh.
Nothing's happening when I do this.
We'll try a different one. See if it.
Okay. Everything mole. You're back. Okay, now it's gone. Let's see if this shows up. Oh, it's going to do this. See, it was,
now it's catching up.
It's catching up.
Yeah.
It was slowing down.
Okay.
Jello and homemade bone broth is, in my opinion, the best collagen supplement you can get. Chicken bone, beef bone, pork bone, and any bone. I have bad knees, and for what I've seen, it's the best for the price. That's true, but there's also some good benefits from marine collagen. And some of this collagen also includes eggshell and something else. I can't remember. So it's kind of just a wide spectrum mix of everything. I used to only do bovine. And then I realized that there was a benefit in the marine collagen as well. So I decided to do more of a wide spectrum. It's just, when you buy collagen in Mexico, they usually do not indicate what kind it is. They just don't. And I like to know what I'm putting in my body. So I don't know. I must be weird like that.
No, just shut up, Mark.
Stephanie. No. Ernie lives about a mile from me. Awesome. We have not seen his house because whenever we were there,
he was in Monterrey.
He was in Monterrey. Yeah. Let's see. Remember, doing business in Mexico is nothing like doing business in the United States. When you finally settle down, you're going to be a household name in your area. You will find your work all around. Oh. Okay.
Es muy posible.
We'll see.
The biggest thing with us is honestly, Alfredo, whether it's business or anything else, it's going to be the fact that we're in a neighborhood of people that want to give and receive. And I mean that by the love. And that is that we have found that entirely through Mexico. And it's the most heartfelt thing. It's hard to explain how life-altering it really has been to deal and adapt to the fact that these are people who want to get to know you. And when we were in sanctuary that one night,
there is no sanctuary.
yeah, well, it was so enlightening to have conversations with the people that were coming in there. And let me explain this. When we first got there, it was Winston, Omar, and the two of us, and we sat there
drinking mezcal
for about 2.5 hours. And we're going, oh crap. Did Winston had called Omar us
Oh, because we were the only ones there
for about 2.5 hours. And then all of a sudden
we lost our connection.
I know.
Okay, I guess we're back. Mark's story is cut short. I'm going to move on. Hi, Georgia and David. Oh, you're not late, and you're in La Paz. Dang, you guys booked. You guys cross country. That's awesome. Wow.
All right, where I was going with this.
Oh, okay. Back.
All right, yeah. We spent time with Omar there, 2.5 hours with nobody else in there, and sort of felt guilty. Felt like he opened the bar just because of Winston asking him if he's going to be there, and then all of a sudden people started filing in, and we had numerous conversations with the clientele that were coming in. And my Spanish has gotten better. It has a long way to go, but it has gotten better. And so I'm able to have rudimentary conversations with people in Spanish. And probably the more I drink, the better my Spanish gets, because I just really don't give a crap as to if I make a mistake, I'm making a mistake. But you know what? I'm giving it the all-American try. And JC was like, gracias. And I was like, ¿por qué? He goes, because you're learning to speak Spanish. You try.
Yep.
That's all we ask.
Yep.
And it was like, yeah, but I need to be better. He goes, no. You're learning, you're trying. And it was like, gracias part total of all that. And it's just like, wow, US would be like, you know what? Speak English or don't talk at all. And
is that the end of the story?
That's the end of the story.
Okay. Oh gosh, open the coffee shop and sell your art. Oh, I could totally do that. Oh my gosh. Coffee, me, art.
No.
I could do that. But then I would have to I'd have to learn all about Mexican business. Oh, I'll let you do that. You can do all that, learning about Mexican business.
No.
And let me worry about coffee and art.
Okay.
Look, and Madam says she will invest. That's awesome.
Well, I think she was referring to the fact. Oh, okay. Hold on. Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Okay. Let's see. Whenever you talk about the love down there, my decision needle to decide between Spain and Mexico keeps moving toward Mexico.
Jesse,
That's what I'm looking
I
for.
cannot in any way, shape, or form. And I know you being who you are, there are moments where you go, okay, how am I going to be accepted? The whole thing here in Mexico is they don't care who you are. The whole thing is if you give it, you get it back. Totally.
Yeah.
And we have never encountered any pushback at all. I mean, that's just, if you're good people, you're good people. And the people here are phenomenal people.
Good people. That is so true. 13-hour ferry from 13 hours? That's how
Yeah.
long it takes.
Yeah, it's an overnight.
From Mazatlan to La
Yeah.
Paz, explored the Cabos, Todos Santos, and back in La
See,
Paz.
we will be
Laredo.
that's basically what we're gonna put the home base
Very
in La Paz and do La Cabos and do Loreto.
That's awesome. Oh, we're not there. We won't be there for like another 2 years.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
But we're getting there. That's awesome, guys. You are in the best place in Mexico for fresh seafood. Fish cooked with skin and bones would give you excellent source of marine collagen. Glad you're enjoying Huatulco.
All right.
You know what? He doesn't eat seafood, but I do, and it is very, very good.
Yesterday,
Yes.
when we were doing the boat tour, we stopped and had lunch in one of the Bahias, and they brought out a tray.
Oh, man.
And on this tray, they had about 5 or 6 huge
Yeah.
fish. They've been, basically cleaned and gutted, but here you go. You tell me what you want.
Yeah. And it was, wow. Yeah, you can't beat the freshness of the seafood here. Just incredible. Madam X is a barista. Awesome. That's incredible. I love it. And Tom, you talked about the boat trip, but what was the coolest thing? Dolphins, snorkeling, etc. And when I drink, he starts singing German songs, so I get it. Swim, sing in the cenotes. Yeah. Well, let's see. We got to watch turtles having sex over and over and over again.
Coochie coochie.
Coochie. And we got to see dolphins, but we had to go chase them. He had a friend that radioed and told him that they were seeing dolphins, so he took us out that way.
Yep.
That was cool. But it was mostly a lot of turtles mating. I did some snorkeling, and I got a dive case for my 360 camera. It's
Folks,
really nice.
it's some damn good footage. So
yeah,
when that video drops, you're gonna definitely want to watch the bays of Huatulco.
It's incredible how the water changes color depending on where you are in these bays. It can be turquoise, it can be a green hue, it can be a deep blue. It just depends on what beach you're on. Oh, and speaking of beaches, they are pristine.
Oh God.
Pristine, clean,
Yes.
no garbage, no seaweed. They don't even have a lot of seashells and stuff. It's just brown sand. It's a bigger grain of sand. It's not powdery, but lots of coral reefs. Just they're not the huge coral reefs that you get in like
No, it's not. Nor is it Cozumel.
No.
I mean, it's not.
But it's fun.
But
and
the other
there's
thing
fish.
that you do get is you get a tremendous number of rock outcrops
Yes.
because of the volcanic activity. So you have all these rock outcrops that are out in the middle of the ocean. Well, not the middle; it's fairly close to shore. If you think about but you're going, it's half a mile plus from shore, and there's this huge rock that just sticks up, and to watch the water go over top and then explode up in the air.
It's beautiful.
It's just,
it really is just so beautiful.
If you find yourself in Huatuco, take one of the boat tours because it's well worth it. Just,
I mean, all right. So this boat would hold 10 people. The boat costs the same no matter who's on it.
true.
The 7 bays was a 5,500 peso rental, and it was ours. We got on about 8, and we didn't get back until about 1:30.
Well, we ended up getting on about 9 by the time we found our way over and everything else.
Oh.
It was about 9:00 when we pulled 8:45, 9ish when we pulled out of the.
But we didn't, and we stopped for lunch. He took us. He would have taken us anywhere we wanted.
Yeah, no,
he basically said, "What do you want to do?"
Jared was great. I mean, oh, you want to snorkel over here? He was, let's take the boat over here. She could snorkel. You know what? We want to put the drone up over on the other side.
Yep.
He was like, let's go.
Yep.
And so no, it was great.
They did provide a cooler of beverages for us to drink, so we had some Coke and some water available. And he stopped, and we got out and had lunch at one of the bays on the beach. And it was great. It wouldn't have mattered what we wanted to do. If we wanted to swim, if we wanted to fish, if we wanted to snorkel, he was our boat guy for the day, basically.
And if you're going to go to Huatuco and you're going to do it with Jared.
Jared was awesome.
He was awesome.
Jared
awesome.
And his dad, Santiago. We're going to put all that information out.
Yes.
Whenever we do the video.
When we drop the video, we'll put all that information out there.
And you can always hire a bookkeeper that knows all the rules and regulations.
Thank
you are
God.
Absolutely right. So I would just need a bookkeeper, tax expert, something. You're right. I don't know. Maybe I can turn this into something.
And a front person that's Mexican to own the business and pay us.
You're a teacher. You will mentor and teach later in life. Ooh, maybe.
I think that's what we all do. I mean, honestly, if you have any sense of community involvement, you hope to help.
I love coffee. I would like to take barista classes and have fun and play with it. I know. Make those cute little designs on the top. Oh, yeah. And here he is, Winston. He was getting us into all kinds of trouble. Oh.
You know, Omar.
Shit, dang it. How are we out again? Test again. This is just insane. It is just so unstable. Testing. I think we're back. Okay, Winston, here you go. Does it look like Omar? I'm getting there. Okay. Our internet is so incredibly unstable. I've never seen anything like it where it's 50-50 and then all of a sudden it's 6 and 1. Just crazy. We've had terrible internet for like what?
I know.
4 or 5 months now.
We tried to watch a movie last night. We watched LA Confidential, and I can't count the number of times we had to refresh the screen. But as a kudos to all of you, Winston, who we'd met
Gets us in trouble.
no, he didn't get us in trouble. We knew Winston because we had taken classes with him on expat Spanish, and Winston has been a subscriber since way back, and it's interesting that we learn so much from all of you. I mean, having the opportunity to sit down with Winston and his family, we learn from them.
Yeah.
And so, you guys give us more than what y'all ever can really believe. Because we get a lot. I know I saw that sort of just
It's fall in your hand.
And that's, and we appreciate all that you guys give us because we take it and we learn from it. And you make us better people. Okay, I'm done.
I know. I'm just. I'm trying to get caught up in the see.
Right below Winston,
Right.
Vicky.
There we go, Vicky. Your pictures on Facebook of the beach you can only get to by boat look amazing. I want to go there. Vicky, pristine. No garbage. No nothing. Perfect. No people.
I mean,
yeah.
We talked. We actually talked about this morning. We know it's not the truth, but you feel like when you pull up to these beaches and there's not a soul there, you honestly feel like you're the first person walking up on these beaches.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're just like, wow.
They're beautiful.
I mean, and we're not talking small little beaches. We're talking expanses that go on, and you're just like, there's not a soul here but us.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Memories. I'm a bit late. Speaking of boats, you spot a boat full of people, but there isn't a single person on board. How is that possible? You spot a boat full of people, but there isn't a single person on board. How is that possible? Is this a riddle?
No. There were times when we were at certain bahias that the boat captain would actually get off. They'd drop the anchor, and I saw this. They'd get off and they'd swim into shore.
Oh.
While he'd already dropped their occupants off on the beach. And, whether it's baño, whether it's, need a refresco, whatever. But I saw several times that happen. So,
okay. I wasn't paying attention because,
you were doing your snorkeling.
I'll snorkel. I'll swim. I'll snorkel. He's not much for being in the water. And the one time he did get out kind of in the water, he got knocked over by a wave.
As soon as my ass got in the water, a wave hit me, knocked me back in the boat, almost busted my ass, and was like,
In the meantime, I'm like, come on, let's go.
And she's like, oh, do you want to go swimming again? Why? So I can get my ass.
Because it's so fun and it's so freeing. And
go for it, baby.
I am.
I know you were.
And Memories as a bookkeeper. Boom. I think we're pulling a plan together here. Coffee, bookkeeper, art. Just have to.
We just have to find. We got to get to that location.
Where am I going to stay? Let's see. Yay, we're back. I know. Good people are like magnets. They will find you. Genkia, Gina. Aw. Thank you, Alfredo. I agree.
But you know what? To be honest, Alfredo, the people here in Mexico, the media on the other side of the border paint them with the wrong brush, and they don't bother to tell the truth of how the people here in Mexico really are. Cartel.
Yeah.
Bullshit. The people here in Mexico, oh, muy amable. I mean, they are the greatest people that we have ever met in our lives. And I've traveled a fair amount of the world, and I have never found people that are as warm and accepting as the people here in Mexico.
And okay, so Tom says my only caveat is not to scuba dive in Mexico. They don't do anchor dives, only drift dives. Ooh, that makes me nervous. And they don't follow your bubbles. I ended up getting the bends and spending 10 hours in a hyperbaric chamber. Oh gosh, wait, and there's more. This is terrifying. Oh, I'm trying to show more. I get a funny feeling it's going to freeze up on us again. So in Palenque Reef, very shark infested. That is not good. That's scary.
And you want my ass to get in the water
Hold
again?
on. See, I don't scuba. I don't have a dive certificate. I mean, I wanted to learn how to do it, but snorkeling's fine with me. I'm good with snorkeling.
I'm good with staying.
I watched a
out of the
kid.
water.
I was doing my snorkeling, and I watched this kid. See, he did a dive with the snorkel tube because it shuts off when you're under the water.
Yes.
And he went all the way down to the sea floor. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing. And then he came back up. I'm like, I wish I could do that. I can't
That was
do
in
that.
Cozumel.
I watched him do it yesterday.
Oh, well, yeah, but in Cozumel, we did that as well. And don't worry, Tom, I'll be captain of the ship. So,
He's captain of the ship. Then you must go to Cuba. Amazing beaches there, especially the Cayos. Okay. Riddle. Okay. The people on the boat are married. Did you get the riddle?
no, because I have to see the first part of that.
Okay, wait. It's up here. Oh, well, I thought it was. I've lost it now. I don't know. I must have missed it.
Whatever.
I missed it. I'm so sorry. I'm a little behind.
Jenny, you're above us. Yeah.
And sent you a pic of La Casa del Mezcal. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we got some announcements to make. I have booked us 2 nights at Zipolite.
Yeah.
Zipolite is the only legal nudist beach in Mexico. Woo-hoo! Mm-hmm.
Playa del Nudista. De la Nudista.
Yes. So we're going to a nudist beach for 2 days. I'm trying to figure out how I can do video on that. I haven't figured it out yet.
Hey.
A lot of blurring? I don't know.
Boatload of people, but they're all single.
Okay. I think I get that.
Yeah.
Raul, how are you doing? Thanks. I got some sun yesterday, so I have a little bit of color without makeup.
It's been a long time since we've seen Raul.
I know.
Tu esposa. They came out and saw us in San Miguel de Allende.
I know.
And they're in Zibata, if I remember correctly. And we will be back in the area shortly.
It's not really shortly, but
baby, at my age, 5 months is shortly.
So let's see. I booked us a room. It's right on the beach. It's like beachfront. And it's next week.
Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday and
Tuesday night.
So,
and yeah, if you're wondering, I got no problem.
Oh, this is the guy who went basically skinny dipping in the pool in El Tejar and all the time. Dude had no tan lines.
I won't have any tan lines after Tuesday of next week either.
Yeah. Coming to Querétaro soon. Yes, we are going. Well, the plan is to be in Querétaro for 6 months, starting in like the second week in December. And then after Querétaro, I think we're going to spend 2 or 3 months in San Luis Potosi after that. Just kind of taking a little bit of a break from all the moving all the time because we've learned that it's the moving that seems to really knock the wind out of us. And it's just a lot to do, to pack the car up and haul it. Especially lately, we've had to stay at places where we weren't parked very close to the accommodations, and it's a lot to carry back and forth to and from the car. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Keep right on.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
no. The biggest thing is what sounded great that side of the border. We didn't realize was going to have the effect. And I think the first year we were running totally on adrenaline because of the excitement of being in Mexico and da 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 da
We
da.
were tired. Yeah.
Year 2, it has started to really have an effect, and the age is catching up. I mean, I can't deny that. And when she broke her arm, the move into Loom and everything else was, man, that took a lot out. And the heat.
And the heat.
And the heat.
The heat's been really taxing.
And then this, we got here, we're here for 2 months, and it was like, do we buy a mattress topper or not?
We decided
we're not going to. And it's kicking my butt arthritis wise.
Long. It didn't seem like it at first. This bed was a little more comfortable than what we were used to, and it seemed like it was going to be okay. And I asked him, should I get a mattress topper? He's like, no. So we didn't. And now both of us are having back issues, but we're almost done with the stay. So
it's not back. It's more the shoulders. They're just.
Snorkeling is so much better because most sea life is in shallow water. Better visibility. Yep. Never been to Zipolite, but hey, I'm rethinking. I do like my tan lines.
I hate my tan lines. If I can be without tan lines, life is good. So I got no problem.
We can order a pizza at this beach, and I probably can cover all the secret places with pepperoni.
Go right ahead. No.
Okay. Here's the joke. This is because this went over my head completely. A boatload of people. There isn't a single person on board because everyone is married.
They're in a single person.
I know. I am so dense sometimes. I'm dense. Nothing wrong with slow travel. You know what? Yeah.
You know what, Raul? It's slowing down, and we may have to look again at the itinerary because one of the things that is rapidly becoming evident is that while we had the adrenaline going and everything else, boom, 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 we're now 20 months in. Yeah, 20 months into this trip into Mexico.
Yeah.
And we're in city number 12.
Yeah. I mean, it's an average of about 1 every 2 months.
Yeah.
On the average.
Or less. I mean, and so, we quickly realized that, we would never, ever do 3 one month stays in a row again. Because no. That really kicks our butt.
I'm going to jump to this and then I'll come back. I envision the Clampetts going down the road. Oh my God. And if we get any more stuff, we're going to have to tie Granny to the roof.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday in talking with Jared, I'm going, necesito dos muchachos para, the move.
Yeah.
I need, we need two people, and it's like
who wants to make some pesos?
who wants 500 pesos for a couple hours of work and moving the shit down?
It's not even a couple hours.
Because one of us has to be up here.
Yeah.
And I have to be down with the car. Well, all right. Gina has to be up here. I have to be at the car to help load it. So it's like, oh.
I'm sorry. I'm reading comments while he's talking. Tom's talking about Cozumel driving. Not all of Mexico. They do drift dives. I can't talk. Drift dives.
Your group gets in the water, drifts with the current, and they pick you up at the other end.
Okay.
Yes, I've done many without issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It kind of worries me a little bit, just as long as I can figure out where I'm going. But I've never done any dives, and like I said, I'm not certified to do them. I always kind of wanted to, maybe someday, maybe. But I'm good with snorkeling at the moment, so that's cool. But thank you for the clarification, Doug. Mark, I may have asked this in the I don't remember. How are you keeping up with your Panthers? I'm going to be in Mexico in November, maybe into December. So I'm having a panic attack about my Bears.
You guys are dealing with Caleb Williams, DK Moore.
Oh, Lord.
You guys are going to be a hell of a lot better than my Panthers. So, are we feeling better about ourselves? We're coming up on the preseason. Yeah, we feel good because we haven't lost a game yet. But are we in the playoff hunt? No. You guys got the problem that you're going to have the Lions and the Packers in your division. But, do I regret the fact that we traded that number one pick? You think? So.
Oops, here we go. Thanks to me, you can see straight through the wall. Oh, my. I really am so dense sometimes. Gosh. Let's see. Buenas noches, gringos. I came in later on your feed, so my comments don't match the subject. My bad. No, you're fine.
Es bueno.
You're fine. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, we're at 2.5 hours just about. We probably should wrap up, huh? I think so. I don't like making them too terribly long because I know some of you really do like to go back and watch these. And that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I hate to make them horribly, horribly long, especially when there's no, real direction. It's just us just jabbing away. Right?
What?
Yeah. So I think we're going to wrap it up and call it a night. We just wanted to share that with you. That you're gonna see more of my art coming out because I'm gonna try to. I need Mr. Marketing Man here to help me out, and thanks to Winston for suggesting this, and and the other signs that have been pointing to this lately. Seemed like a good idea. So I'm going to try to put my efforts into that since I don't have a job. I need to do something, right? I need to do something. Yes. Good night, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And let's see, this weekend we have our first Huatuco video.
Yes.
It will be on the Airbnb that we're in. And I don't have anything else out there just yet. So I'm working on those as well. I used to work in comedy clubs. The comics were going nuts from being road warriors at 5 months. No idea how you haven't gone nuts for 2 years. Well, yeah, but you know what? Those people are on the road and they're changing venues like every night or two, unless they get like a residency. That's a lot of travel all the time. So,
And Jesse, who's to say we aren't nuts? I mean,
we are totally nuts.
Yeah.
Thanks again. I always look forward to Wednesday.
And in 2 weeks,
thanks, Tom.
We will be discussing Zipolite
And memories. That's right. In 2 weeks. And Jesse, In 2 weeks, we will be discussing our nudist beach adventure. I don't know how I'm going to record this. This will be different. Can't wait to see how beautiful it is here in Lake Chapala. We'll get there soon enough, Debbie.
Yep,
Promise you that.
It's on the rotation.
And I think we're about to lose. There we go. Zipolite, it is a family place. I do pregnant women with her son, 5, 6 years old. Also, people fishing with a net. Very dangerous. I saw people on the rocks doing Karate Kid poses. What?
Zipolite has one of the worst undertows of all of Mexico.
It looks rough.
And so, it's a nice place to sit on the beach and not get in the water, which is
no tan lines.
Nice for Mark because I don't have to get in the water.
And Wilfredo, good night. The fact there isn't any direction is what keeps it interesting. We don't know what we may miss. All right.
Neither do we.
And good night, Claudia. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out there with us. We really appreciate it. And we will see you in 2 weeks.
2 semanas.